Trying to see if I can find something to make this damn thing register. I tell you what, man, your little REM pod is so easy to make it go off. I mean, if you look at this thing, it's on, right? I
Yeah.
mean, nothing you do other than vibration makes this thing off. But if I go over by my alarm clock, I can get all the way up to here, which is almost full max.
Must be picking up off the electronic stuff or whatever.
Well, your alarm clock puts off EMF. So, if I take it and I go to my pillow
Can
and
you
get
see it on
EMF
the
in my
monitor?
pillow, that's not good because that means you can get strange things from EMF from there.
All right, so it looks like we got some people logging on here, y'all. So I'm going to blow this up. Man, it's so dark. I look so dark. I guess it's because of the lighting where I'm at. But
Well, let's see what's on there. Look at that. It's even darker over on my end. Nice and perfect.
I even turn on the light behind you.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I cut that light out, it might work. Anyways, so we're going to get started here, everybody. I'm sorry I'm looking a little dark. I guess I'm like Coca-Cola trying to be less white. I don't know.
Turn off the one right above you.
Turn off. Oh, yeah, the one above me.
Turn it off.
Yeah. So let's see if that works real quick. Everybody hang in there real quick. Dave, is your mic on?
It is.
Okay, so it's off whenever. So hey guys, yeah, we're trying this new live feed thing. No, oh my God, I'm scared. Okay, I got scared.
Maybe it's too much.
It's all right. I think I just need one of them lights, behind us here that's going on. So what's up, everybody? Sorry I can't give you guys shout outs right now, but looks like we are streaming now through Savannah Scaremaster. We're streaming through Paranormal Society of Savannah, and of course our YouTube page, which we appreciate you guys joining us. So we thought Papa Smurf was going to be joining us, but I don't see him. Don't know what's going on there. So we're going to get right into it and see if we can. Oh, it's pretty neat. It's telling us, so we've got 12 people live on the Savannah Scare Masters page. None on the YouTube, which is okay, which, that happens. 5 on Paranormal Society, which is great. Okay, so we got 17 people. All right, so let's get right into it, and we'll fix all these bugs later. So as y'all know, we spent the night at 1790 and room 204. And the legend or myth there, of course, as you know, is there was a young lady by the name of Honor or Anna or Anna, however you want to say it. And there was a sailor that was there that promised to wed her or whatever. And she trusted him. He left, said he was coming back. He never came back. So she threw herself out the window and committed suicide in supposedly the room that we were. Now, with that being said, when we first got up there, before you even enter the room, so there's like this little hallway. It's kind of weird. And there's like this mannequin that they have that I guess it's supposed to be Anna. And it's kind of creepy, but that's what you see, I guess, when you're outside. I hope I'm not giving it away to a lot of people, but that's what it is. We thought it was actually in the room, but it's not in the room. But so we did go in, we started unpacking equipment, and Walt, if you want to talk a little bit about what started going off first.
The EMF meter went off first. Of course, I ain't 100% prepared, but I am slightly prepared. So we brought this little gizmo out. This is an EMF detector. It senses stuff a little more than this particular one does. I can't really show you it going off because I don't have anything in front of me to make it go off. You can make it go off using it like alarm clock per se. Alarm clocks put off EMF signatures. But checking the room, that's where your beginning of your investigation, where you got to go in and find out, okay, where's their signal. So it's I guess slightly part of a debunking process to make sure that there's not something in that room causing this. Well, in this room, there was nothing causing it, but it was going off, and it was going off constant.
So, we went through all the evidence and we didn't get anything on video. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything in pictures, and the EVP recorders didn't capture anything. Something that is kind of cool was, well, one of the things, so we thought we were going to be able to check out the dining room, the bar area, the lounge and stuff like that. Well, right at 11 o'clock, they shut down, and then they locked the gates and stuff, and you can't, move around about down there. I will say that while we were down there, though, we talked and did some interviews with some people and stuff, and some interesting stuff. We also invited some people to come up to the room there, just kind of see what they thought and whatnot. There was one couple, a young lady and her husband, that wanted to check it out because they're big time paranormal enthusiasts. So, hey, we're always trying to help and whatnot. And she went up there, and what all was she talking about, Walt? She was saying something about some heaviness on her chest and everything when she was in there.
Actually, she said it started in the hallway. And, shortly after a while going into the room, it went away. But that was basically what she talks about, like heaviness in her chest. And of course, her husband, he didn't get no feeling from it. Now, I've heard, and I've heard or read somewhere that the entity, I guess, that's in there doesn't like females. But if there's little notepads that are in that room, I didn't hear anything in there from a lady's perspective saying that it didn't like her. It made her feel more uncomfortable than it made her husband feel. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's entirely true.
Now, I will tell you, like when we first got in there, and I'm sorry if I keep moving around, guys. I'm trying to hold this little Chromebook that I've got. So sorry if I'm making anybody seasick. So Dave, Flavor Dave, I know you and Papa Smurf there, when y'all first got in there, y'all wanted to kind of lay on the bed and see, if anything was kind of going on, any type of activity or if anything, because there's a lot of talk of people being touched or their toes touched or tapped on the shoulder, all that kind of stuff. What did you experience when you laid on the bed?
So when I laid on the bed, I felt like the room kind of got like it was spinning. And I felt like I was kind of seeing stuff that wasn't really
that kind of stuff. What did you
like? My vision got like kind of cloudy, and I felt like something was beside me, maybe making the room spin or spinning the entire bed. I just couldn't figure out what was going on. So, and once I got up out of the bed, I felt like 100 times better.
Yeah, it was kind of freaky, man, just being up there in itself. But I will say that, when we first got there, so we put your device on the bed, and then we put the REM pod on the bed. And I know it was just going nuts. And we were getting all kind of activity. And we try to debunk, what it may be. We moved the bed. We moved the covers, we lifted the bed up to see if anything's underneath there, what's going on. And you got to remember, even though it's room 204, we're actually on the 3rd floor. So anything that was like directly underneath, say a washing machine or anything like that, or a dishwasher that they use, there's just no way physically or possibly, well, there could be a small percentage of so much activity, either vibrations or whatnot, coming all the way up 3 floors. Now, that's not saying it did or didn't happen. It's just, it was funny because from about 5 o'clock when we started doing our thing up until about 10, 11 o'clock, it was crazy.
I'd say 12.
Yeah, close to that time probably. Because I know we had went back and forth a few times, but it was just going nuts. Even the little Boo Bear that we have, the little teddy bear, it was crazy. It was lighting up like crazy. The EMF meters were going off. We have been to so many places that a lot of times there's nothing. That thing doesn't go off for anything. And we want it to go off sometimes and nothing happened. But in that room, it went off quite a bit. now here's something interesting some of y'all might like. So, well, back up a little bit. So I was trying to interview some of the bar people or the bartenders, and there was one female. She was like, hey, you're not going to get anything out of me. I only work one night a week. I just, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But the other guy, Scott, he was pretty interested in what was going on and really nice and stuff. And he talked a little bit. That video was on there. But then when I went and talked to two of the people that were waiting on them to close up so they could leave, the female, her name was Kit or Cat, I think. And then the guy, the night auditor guy, his name was Raymond. Really nice guy. And I asked if they had any experiences. So one of the experiences that Raymond talked about was dimes always missing. They can never find out, what was going on with their dimes and stuff. So watch the video on that and he can tell you what's going on with those dimes. And then what's weird is the next morning, what happened, Dave?
So we were we took the coffee pot and all the stuff off the end table. We were gonna set cameras and the computers and stuff up. So we just took all the coffee pot and the cups and all that, put it in the drawer. Well, the next morning when we went to put the coffee pot back, we take the little tray out, we take the coffee pot out, and then there's a dime. So I pulled this dime out and I'm like, who threw a dime in here? And you guys are like, it ain't my dime. And then Walt said something about, oh, it's your dime now. And I said, nope, not my dime. And I threw it back into the drawer.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. So, little things like that really makes it worth it, and here's the thing, we're not out to debunk and stuff. But we're not going to BS you guys either. If we get something, we get something. If we don't, we don't. Unfortunately, we really didn't get anything. And we spent a lot of hours going through this, especially Walt. And there was nothing there. And it could be several reasons why. It could be, hey, it's one of those things. Some people get a lot of activity. Some people don't. Maybe it just wasn't our night to get anything. I'll tell you guys that something that we all talked about and it didn't make sense until the next day. So we felt extremely,
Hey, not to cut you off, but Walter had called me to say, hey, did you watch the thing about the dimes and Patrick talking to the innkeeper, whatever his name was, Raymond?
Yeah, Raymond.
Well, he told me I was in another room and he's like, hey, watch the thing about the dimes. So I came downstairs at my house when I was home and I was talking to Dana and I was telling her about the dimes and she points to the floor and goes, well, there's a dime right there in the living room floor. We don't have cash hardly ever on us. We don't have change or anything. There was a dime on the floor. Well, later that day, I was also going to do dishes, and we've had something in our garbage disposal, it seemed like, for a couple of days. So I finally just stuck my hand in, pull out the second dime, and you should see how mangled up this dime is. But we didn't find these dimes until after the dime story, and Walt was like, hey, let's watch Patrick's interview about the dimes.
It's kind of coincidental, if you told me.
It is
kind of weird.
Accident, I told you about it. But look, if y'all want to see it, here's the actually 3 dimes that popped up. Yes.
That's cool.
One of them's pretty mangled up because it was in the dishwasher. No idea how or when it got in there.
We don't do a change.
Well, and that's one of the cool things is, so you really don't know, what you're going to get. And again, we're not going to BS you guys. We get something. People don't always get something, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So it just probably wasn't our night. That's the only thing I can kind of describe is it just wasn't our night. Let's see what's going on here. Let's get some shout outs here. Looks like we got Moody. What's going on? Let's give him a Sasquatch yell. Woo! That's right. Michael Hogan's watching. What's happening, brother? What's happening there? Eric Munn. Yeah, what's happening? Caroline's watching. Cousin James is watching. What's up, cousin? Says, I need a flashlight. Yeah, I need something, don't I? Maybe hold it under my chin. Woo! See, Lustrous there, buddy says, sorry, I am late. Hey, man, that's all good. Brian Haynes is watching. What's up, brother? Glad you all watching. So we got a nice little crowd here. And while we're doing this, we wanted to talk about some of the stuff now. Reading, they've got these books. And what happens is in the room, and whoever stays there, they kind of like, they like for you to write something, whether something happened, something didn't happen. And we got to reading a lot of the stuff. I think I read some of it to you guys online, but it was so hard to see it, and especially in the dark. We were trying to make it scary, and, it kind of happened. What's happening, Marvin? Glad to see you. So it's one of those things where, I don't know, man. Reading a lot of those stories, one of them was real funny. So there was a story in there about a lady who was waiting on her group to come and stay there. So she got there the night before. And so she was kind of bored because her friends weren't there. So she snuck out of the room and waited until a couple ghost tours came by. And when they came by and they were talking about, that doll or whatever it is up in the window, she would like move it or shake it or something. And, they would freak them out and they would start snapping pictures, and she put it in there. That's pretty funny. But there's a lot of good stories in there. A lot of them say, hey, nothing happened. And that's just the way it is. Maybe it just wasn't our night. But we do plan on going back. So, that's one of the things. Let's see. Melanie's watching. Hey, Melanie, thank y'all. Anybody got any questions? Go ahead and ask them now. And we will try to answer them the best we can. And let me know if the words that are popping up, I keep looking at my phone, so that's what I'm doing. But I see that every time we talk, there's words that pop up talking about what we're saying.
I've turned off closed captioning.
Oh, so it's closed captioning, Moody said. So if it's closed captioning is bothering you, then cut it off. But anyway, yeah, if you guys got any questions, we're going to be on here another 5 minutes or so. We're kind of testing this out. It's StreamYard. I'm not 100% like digging it, but it is what it is for now, especially if we can add some other features. Don't know what happened to Papa Smurf. He might have fell asleep. He's old, so.
There was some messaging in there. He said no mic or cam, and he also said I need to fix setting.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, that's what it's saying in the chat.
All right, let me lean up here. I want you guys to see me. I'm sitting in my tidy whities. I didn't want y'all to actually see Moby. So
I wanted to throw out a shout out too, because I'm over here watching the Paranormal Society of Savannah's, and so you're seeing the Scaremasters. I'm seeing Paranormal's side, and looks like we got Whitney Wilson. Hey. And Reba McCook. Hey Reba, how you doing? Yes, well, I can't say that she's asking if we experienced any temperature changes. So when we did this, the room was hot when we walked in there, and ghosts feed off the cold. So I cranked that air conditioner on and turned it down to 60 degrees in that room, and it actually got below 60 degrees in that room up to a certain point. And then when everything stopped, it was kind of like we decided to turn the heat on so that we can warm up. And at that point, the temperature rose back up. But it was cold in there at one point for the majority of the night.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to throw in here real quick, I'm watching the Scaremaster one, and Buddy Grayson says, hey, Flavor Dave, I found a mangled dime in the parking lot at Henry's Breakfast after I saw y'all. So
wow,
we saw Buddy and those guys when we were leaving Henry's Breakfast because we were starving. They were coming in, him and his wife and his daughter, and that's funny that he just mentioned that. So,
that is funny.
Yeah. See another shout out here. Tanya, what's happening, Tanya? Glad you're all watching.
Why can't they throw like hundreds?
Yeah, why can't they throw $100 bills, man?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you know what though? Also in the bathroom downstairs, I ran out of there about 3 times because the temperature change definitely happened in that bathroom downstairs.
Yeah, and there was a lady that was sitting next to us. She heard us talking about stories about telling ghost stories and stuff in there while we were there, and she just out of the blue, remember, she said, I do not like that bathroom. Remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I'm not getting in y'all's conversation, but I don't want to go back in that bathroom. And I was like, oh, that's funny you said that. And then we started talking about it. Remember, with Dave and everybody. So that was crazy.
Yeah, me and my son, when he was 12, had an experience in that bathroom when I was going on a ghost tour with you, Patrick.
Joey.
It was me.
Yeah.
We
I remember
both-
you was really scared, and you always said you was never going back in there after that. But glad to see you faced your fears there.
I'm afraid.
So Buddy says he had no idea until just now about the dime story. So
That's crazy.
that is cool, isn't it, man? That's great. So guys, so what do we got coming? I'm sorry, my cat just bit me. So what do we got kind of going on for you guys? Well, I was hoping Sean and Amy are watching down in Brunswick because we're ready to come down there and check some stuff out. So, I'm going to be hitting you guys up, and we definitely going to be coming that way. Walt did check into the Marshall House, and let's just say the Marshall House right now is a little bit pricey because of tourist season. So we will be going there. We've got a couple other spots there, and I don't like mentioning a whole lot, not to say anything negative about anybody, but there was another group, and there's none of the ones that like we hang out with and stuff and are good buddies with, that saw our feed, and I guess they try to hit places up that we talk about before we go to. So we're going to kind of keep some of this a little quiet until we actually get there and then spring it, so that they can't go there and not say steal our thunder, but do their own inspection, do their own homework before they go, and that kind of thing. So let's send some shout outs here. Let's see, Robert Madrano is not feeling very well. Now into apparel. If you need some stuff, hit them up. Also want to give a shout out to Johnson Construction. Michael, if you're watching, tell your mom to call us. I know she's got that haunted house she wants us to check out. So let's do that. I do know that we're looking at some other spots here while it's still nice and cool. Walt, what was one of the places you were talking about checking out?
I'm trying to think now. The other place I've been talking about was the Marshall House. I was looking into a couple locations today, trying to see if I can find some locations. I mean, I'd like to get into the Moon River Brewery, but this is all. For the most part, it takes work to get them to let you come in. The hotels are usually pretty welcoming because you're paying to come in anyway. But like I said, the Marshall House was kind of expensive, especially this time of year. She told me to check back in the summer months. It actually goes down in price by about half of what they were charging for next month. So definitely the Marshall House is out. It is quite a bit pricey. But with that being said, I mean, let's go hit, maybe Brunswick, St. Mary's, and what the heck is it? The other place that we were talking about is Brunswick and just St. Mary's, St. Simon's, that area. And then I don't know where to go from there, man. We'll just have to start digging. I mean, you got some letters out, I'm sure. So maybe start trying to see if you can get an answer out of some of them folks.
Yeah, I think we just need to start just kind of visiting these places now that COVID is not under control, but it's not as bad as it was last year. Well, it's still bad, but you know what I'm saying. And maybe we can go and talk to them because a lot of them are opening up now and just say, hey, listen, this is what we want to do. And we kind of scout the area. Let's see, my cousin, huh?
Lifted too. Some of the limitations on COVID are getting lifted.
Yeah. So instead of, only 2 people, 4 people, now they're allowing, a little bit more and stuff like that. So my cousin James on there says he has a place that we might be able to check out. So that's cool, man. That's cool. Doug Hardy, what's happening, man? So we wanted to talk to you guys about the 1790. I will say that. So let's start with Walt. Walt first. You think it's haunted? Do you think anything is there? What are your feelings on 1790?
I think it was odd that we had the EMF constant. Well, I wouldn't say constant. It was on, it was off, it was on, it was off, but it was constant all the way up until about 12 o'clock. And when 12 o'clock hit, it went dead silent. couldn't get nothing out of the EMFs. Next morning, got up, I tried it again, and still didn't get anything. So I am truly on the undecided side. I think there's something there. It just needs a little more digging in the right moment to be there to possibly get it. I'd like to try it one more time, and if I don't get anything, then I guess at that point, I'm going to say that it wasn't. But at this moment, I'm half decided, saying yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I want to try it one more time, and I don't know. So, Dave, what you think, man? Was it haunted, or was it, what's your feelings on your experience there?
I think it's a possibility. And the only reason I'm saying that, besides the cold temperature in the bathroom and the dimes, is I watched your dad, and you guys said you didn't see nothing on camera, but I watched Papa Smurf get up twice and just stand over Walter. And then the second time, he sat on that bed staring in the mirror for 10 minutes. And I'm like, now I'm wondering, did I just dream that or what? If you guys didn't see it on the cameras.
Well, I'm going to tell you. So one of the bad things about 1790 is the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi there sucks. I mean, I hate to say anything negative about 1790. Their Wi-Fi was terrible. And the reason it's terrible is because you got all the guests and everybody and probably all the employees using it. And then there we are trying to use our equipment and cameras. And there was a lot of stop going, with the cameras and stuff. So I'd be watching the camera and it would just stop. And then like 2 minutes would go by or something. And I was like, that was weird, and then I remembered when I was trying to go live, even on my phone or with this program here, it would just stop. It would just freeze and it would say no connection. And it would just kick me off. And at first I was kind of like, okay, is this paranormal? But then I got to thinking, wait a minute. They said there was about 30 people staying here. And then you figure there's probably another 10 workers, plus everybody that was down at the bar drinking or doing whatever they were doing on their phones, getting the Wi-Fi, people, all in that area. So it was just terrible. But, that's why we kind of got bored because nothing was going on for a while. So we decided to take a walk down to Colonial Park, Colonial Cemetery. So Colonial Cemetery is freaky. It's freaky during the day, but it's really creepy at night. If y'all didn't see the video and, you see me saying some stuff and kind of stuttering, it was cold. It was very cold. And one of the spots I went to on the side across from the fire station, somebody noticed and they hit me up and said, man, something was wrong. I said, I was cold, and it got colder than cold where we were. And I know the EMF meter that Daddy had was going off, in that one spot because it was just extremely cold. It was like 20 degrees colder where we were. It was already like 35 degrees, but where I was, it felt like it was like 10 degrees. I mean, it was extremely cold, and I would move out of that spot and then it was fine. So that was kind of weird, but Colonial Cemetery at night is pretty creepy, man. It's pretty creepy. Patty Dunn Pageant, what's happening? Says, have to try the Kehoe house. Yeah, see, here's the deal. So with those type of houses, Pink House, Kehoe House, all these other sorrel weed and everything, they want lots of money for you to come in and check these places out. You would think they would kind of let us go in for a couple hours at night or something. No. All these places are all about the money. And I think a lot of them bank on the idea of, if we say this place is haunted, we'll rent it more and we can jack our prices up. And I'm sorry, maybe there's some stuff that happens there, but that's the way I kind of felt about 1792 was, they kind of jacked their prices up $200 a night. Nothing really happened, other than some EMF meters and stuff like that. I think it's a good story. There's a couple stories out there. One says that didn't happen. One says it does happen. Who knows? We weren't there. We weren't alive back then. So who knows? A couple more shout outs here real quick. Laura Singleton Fogelman's in the house. Linda Hood is in the house. Yay, yay. Booty, give me a Sasquatch yell. Woo! That's right. That's for all you baby mamas out there. But and I know I'm not trying to be rude to any of these places, but I mean, usually you can feel something when you walk in. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And when I walked into 1790, with the exception of being downstairs, when I went in their room, I didn't get a feeling of somebody's watching me and stuff. But I will tell you, when I walked down that little hallway to go to the bathroom, yeah, it was. I felt like, okay, this is weird. I probably need to hurry up and do my thing and get out of here, man, because it was a little creepy. But I think some of these places, I think they bank on these stories, and I think something similar may have happened, and then over the years they just kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. And if you think about it, man, I mean, what was it? The Sorrel Weed House, what, it like $600 or something like that to rent the place?
No, Sorrel Weed, they wanted like $800, and
That's
they're
right.
going to let you do it for like 2 hours. And
Yep.
I was like, yeah, give me some of what y'all smoking. So
Hey Patrick, the only thing I could think of too was the next day we were all like pretty drained though. It was kind of weird. Some sorry, the dogs just
hold on one second. What'd you say,
down the dog.
Most haunted room at 1790, did it cost more than the other rooms, or all rooms like $195 or whatever?
No, I think all the rooms were about the same price.
Because they, say that's the most haunted room. I was wondering.
Yeah. So what Dave's talking about is what were you talking about, David?
So
Paranormal
the next day when I got home, and I think I talked to your dad and Walter, I thought also said, but I was so drained, like tired. I couldn't I wanted to come and take a nap and just go to sleep. And
so one of the things, that what we're talking about, I think we started to talk about is, so unbeknownst to us, little by little, we were asking one another, and it's one thing to be up all night, but we did take a little nap, here and there and stuff. But we all four got cramps. That was a big thing. I know we all got cramps. I got a cramp in my leg, and I haven't had a cramp in my leg in over a year. I think y'all experienced cramps, but the one thing was we were just drained. We weren't tired. It was like we had no energy. So Monday I Googled, paranormal investigation fatigue, because I had kind of heard about that. And I read several articles, but the one that I posted on the site there, you guys check it out, is really interesting to read. And what it talks about is the spirits or the ghosts or whatever you want to call them, the demons, whatever it is needing energy from you to do the things that they're doing. And I was like, you know what? That kind of makes sense, because we got extremely tired right after midnight. We were just kind of beat, and I'm not going to say we didn't have a whole lot of energy, but I noticed that we didn't have as much energy as we had when we first got there. And it had only been a few hours. So they talk about it draining you of your energy. And once you've been drained of your energy, activity stops, stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense. And it did. It stopped. I think it drained us for everything we had, and couldn't produce any more, and was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give these guys a show. And they were pulling off of all of us at one time. And then once the energy kind of ran out from us, it left. So
Whitney Wilson's asking, how about the Tybee area? There's a lot of history out there, out that way. So she's just basically asking if we're willing to go there. We're willing to almost go anywhere, really.
Yeah, we'll go anywhere. And I hit up the lighthouse because they say the lighthouse is really haunted, and they talk about there's a child ghost, a little girl or something, I think, up there, and supposedly when you make it up there to the top, she'll kind of tug on you or something like that. And there's some other stuff. Back when I first started doing this, the first month, there was a lot of ghost stories about Tybee Island and about people on the beach and disappearing and walking out into the water and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll check that out. I know that Brian Haynes was saying, what about Fort Pulaski at night? Yeah, Fort Pulaski, they've talked about, but here's the thing with forts. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer on anybody. We would love to do all these places, but every fort I talked to was like, no. The only fort that was kind of interested in us doing anything was Fort Jackson. And, they have
inside.
Huh?
We couldn't stay inside. It had to have been outside.
You remember that?
Yep.
And then so Fort Pulaski and the ranger that was at Fort McAllister was like, no, they look down on this kind of stuff. They don't want to really be associated with that, and they downplay it a lot. Even that one fort we went to out there in Midway, remember that guy was downplaying it, but then he slipped up and said something about a ghost out there, remember? And we were like, what? And
well, he also did say that there was a campsite right next to the fort, and that kind of in a sense there wasn't going to be nobody there, but there's really no fort. It's just an earthen work back there.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. But the thing is, a lot of the stuff is protected by the state or the federal government and that kind of stuff. They don't want to let you do hardly anything like that. That's fun. Same thing with the cemeteries. There's all kind of rules in the cemeteries, man, that talks about, you can't dress up in these cemeteries. You can't do like a hauntings type of investigations, stuff. It's kind of weird, man. Like check out the rules for Bonaventure. It's crazy. Yeah, but people do it all the time. So I got a couple ideas that I want to try, at a couple of those cemeteries there and see if we catch anything, but that's another story, and I'm not going to share it with nobody stealing our ideas. Let's see. James says, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I can't wait to join you guys one day. Yeah, man. By all means, come on. Melanie Phillips says Colonial Park off of Skidaway. Don't know. Not sure about where that is, but we'll try anything. So listen, guys, we've been on
Colonial Park. She's talking about the cemetery downtown.
Oh yeah, it might be. Well, she said Skidaway. So
I don't know of any Colonial Park over there.
No, I don't either. But so we're going to wrap this up. We appreciate you guys watching. It's been almost 40 minutes. We want to keep you guys entertained with what we're doing and whatnot and stuff. So we'll try to do several of these shows. I'll get some better lighting and stuff. So before we close out there, Walt, what you got to say before we wrap this up, man?
I don't know. I mean, we'll come to you guys with some stuff. I'm sorry there's no footage to show off on this one. None of it's really worth making a video over because it's really nothing. I do have some of what the data looks like. If you guys can see it, that's what the data looks like that you have to kind of go through and look over. But that's about all I got to show.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, So how about it, Dave? You got anything you want to add, man?
Nah, it was fun, but I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced.
That's all right. You just wait till we get something that is, you're going to be the Aaron. So,
hey, I'm down.
We're going to do that. Now, one of the things here, looks like we had some comments. Let me look at these comments before we go. I want to make sure we ask everybody. Okay, so now I can see them all. I'm sorry, y'all. Again, I'm new to this program. Laurel Singleton says, how about Laurel Grove cemeteries, north and south? Yeah. So just like Bonaventure, they lock the gate. And if they lock the gate, you get to spend the night. So don't know if I want to spend a night in there, but yeah, we need to check it out. James Wilson says, lock his ass up. I'm not sure what you are talking about. Oh, lock him up in the, okay. I know what you were talking about for a minute there, cousin. I was like, what in the world? Talking about locking you up inside there, I guess, man.
That's all right. Whitney Wilson said, gonna be the Aaron, ha ha.
That's right.
Why gotta be me?
Y'all know I'm scared. I'm scary.
Oh shit, you frozen.
What happened to you, Pat? You froze.
You're frozen in time.
He said he was scary.
He said he was scared.
Yeah, evidently so. Where you go, Patrick?
Oh man, he's so scared he froze.
When he was leaving off.
He scared himself to a freeze, huh?
So
there you go.
He's
blacking
back.
out.
okay.
Now he's blacking out.
There we go. All right. I think my Wi-Fi, sometimes it goes in and out here, man. So I'm sorry. But yeah, so we got some stuff planned. Walt, I know we still wanting to do the ghost story campfire thing.
Yep.
That'll be some fun. It'll just be streaming. We'll just turn that bad boy on and we'll talk about some ghost stories all around Savannah and stuff like that. So y'all be checking it out. James said I got scared. I did get scary. But thank you guys for watching. Moody, let's give my Sasquatch yell on the way out of here. She added a little extra at the end. Thank you guys. You guys got suggestions and things, please hit us up either on our page or inbox us. We'll be glad to do what we can. We appreciate y'all watching. Thank you, Walt, for hanging in there with us. Flavor Dave, thank you, sir. And Papa Smurf, fix your damn mic. That's what it's saying down there. It's saying, Pat, no mic. Device is not connected. So we'll fix all
Website
that
too,
stuff.
SavannahScare.com.
That's right. So check out our webpage, www. SavannahScare.com. That's right. So you can go there. We're going to have some shirts that we want to make. They're going to be pre-sold though. So we're going to have a link up on our page and stuff soon. Stuff you can buy, such as t-shirts, such as scullies, hoodies, that kind of stuff. So stay tuned and we'll be bringing you guys some good stuff. And as always, remember, we hope to scare you there. Good night, everybody.